You don't believe in it even if, like, say the woman was raped and gets pregnant. You still don't believe in it?
Well, I would just say rape is one of the most horrific things that can happen to anyone.
Exactly. That's traumatizing. You guys look at the baby every day. You're looking at basically the person who raped you.
That's a good point. The thing is, the trauma from the rape doesn't end after the baby's born. It continues.
Exactly.
But we know we don't kill a born baby because they remind us of that pain. And so I guess the question would be, do we ever think it's justified to kill an innocent human being for the crimes of the father?
That's true. That is a very good point. That is so sad.
So what about our First Amendment rights? Do we have any, or do you only have rights?
I don't think that you have the right to put an aborted fetus up when you could be triggering someone who has had an abortion.
I realize that some people look at visuals of abortion and they're appalled. How can you show anything so graphic, so disturbing? I'm sympathetic to that concern. I don't like these pictures either. However, there is historical principles that point to their necessity. In 1955, an African-American boy by the name of Emmett Till Jr. journeyed from Chicago, where he was living, to visit his cousin in the town of Money, Mississippi. And after he got off the train in Money, Mississippi, he began to brag to his cousin and the cousin's friends about his 2 white girlfriends back home in Chicago. And of course, they would have none of it. They said, "We don't even speak to white girls here. We don't even look them in the eye, let alone date them. What do you mean you have 2 white girlfriends back home in Chicago?" Emmett persisted, and they finally got tired of it and said, "We dare you to talk to a white girl here." That afternoon, Emmett, the cousin, and a group of boys go into Brian's grocery store in downtown Money, Mississippi, a tiny little convenience store. Emmett walks up to the counter where there's a 21-year-old white married woman, and reports vary, but the basic storyline is he either purchases the piece of gum and whistles at her, or he looks at her and smiles and says, "Thanks, babe," flirtatiously. Either way, we think no big deal. Very big deal in 1955 if you were black. 2 nights later, that boy is taken at gunpoint by the woman's husband and another man. They drive him outside Money, Mississippi, and after savagely beating him and breaking nearly every bone in his upper torso for several hours, they finish him off with a shot to the head. When the local sheriff discovers the boy's corpse in the river, he cannot believe the sight of this kid. He takes what's left of Emmett and doesn't even put Emmett in a casket, just a wooden box that he nails shut with a note to Mamie Till, Emmett's mother, basically saying, "Don't open this, you won't like what you see." When Mamie Till got the body back in Chicago, the press gathered around her and said, "What are you going to do, Mrs. Till?" She said, "We're going to have a funeral for my boy, and it's going to be an open casket funeral." The newspaper staff went ballistic. "You can't do that. Do you understand the condition your boy is in?" She said, "I know, but I want the whole world to see what they did to my boy." And that black and white photograph of Emmett in the coffin, which is gruesome to look at, helped launch the civil rights movement in this country. A few months later, Rosa Parks was told to go to the back of the bus because she was black. What gave her the courage to stand her ground and do the right thing? She told us in her memoirs, "I couldn't get the picture of that boy out of my head." Why do pro-lifers show grisly pictures of aborted babies? Because those pictures convey truth in ways no words ever could. And if we're going to have an intellectually honest discussion about abortion in this country, we're going to have to open the casket on abortion and see it for what it is.